Thanks. Huh. Quick. Hi, this is Tammy.
Hi, it's Matt.
Oh, good. I can breathe. I've been looking all over the software of what I could do.
Yeah, well, I had a link in my calendar and it wasn't letting me in.
Oh, no.
So
Oh,
I
I'm
don't know
so
if I had the
sorry
wrong
about
link or
that.
whatever, but yeah, whatever you sent me just now worked. So,
Oh, good. 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 And how's your day going?
it's pretty back to back to back so
So
far.
is mine. Oh my gosh. My President's Day was crazy. People were supposed to be off. I mean, I wasn't, but I think a lot of people were trying to get things done. I didn't really expect that.
Yeah, it was pretty quiet. We were here. We didn't have the day off or anything. We had a big snowstorm, so we kind of took off early to beat the snow home on Monday.
Oh,
Yeah, we got like 8 inches of snow, and it was
oh,
funny. It was on Sunday. It was like 72 degrees and sunny, and then Monday it was 0 and 8 inches of snow. So
oh no.
I was a little unprepared for it.
Yeah, so in 1 minute, I'll start broadcasting. We do need to finish by 2 because I have that other webinar
Okay.
that just got scheduled today. So,
Are there other folks here? I only see you and I here.
right, just you and I. And when I hit broadcast, it might just be you and me. There were 6 that signed up.
Okay.
And then they'll be able to hear us when I hit broadcast. And then I'll start recording. And we'll pretend that everybody's here and we'll send them the recording. But you're right, we only have you and me.
Okay. Yep. We'll run through it, and that way we can at least create the recording.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah.
I haven't done an Enlightened CRM webinar in a while, so it'd be good to get a recording of that because I get people that want to know if we have any
Yeah.
recordings.
That would be great. Great. Yeah. And I had, oh, here we go. Well, welcome everybody. Today's webinar is on integrating your LMS with Salesforce and making managing students a breeze. So I'm really excited about this. A lot of functionality, and it really adds to our tool set. My name is Dr. Tammy Frame. I'm the Chief Education Officer at eClass for Learning. This is my contact information. Those of you that have signed up, we will be sending you a recording of the webinar. eClass for Learning is a full solution e-learning provider. We support several LMS solutions. We can help with course development. We do an excellent job of onboarding and support. We have advanced reporting and analytics options to help you out. With EnvisionTel's help, we have e-commerce solutions. We do hosting of LMSs. We can help integrate systems, which today we're talking about how that can be done with Salesforce with the help of EnvisionTel. And we can also customize the platform. So we can help you end-to-end with whatever e-learning challenges that you might have. We have recently, we're very excited, entered a partnership with EnvisionTel, and we have Matt Lee today. He's going to talk about the Enlightened CRM, which sounds techy, but basically that is their Salesforce integration that works with LMS things such as Canvas, Moodle, Tatara. So he's going to talk about that for us today. If you are joining us via Zoom, we love it when you ask questions. That always makes it a lot more lively and interesting, and I think useful for the participants. So we really encourage that. So please put in whatever questions that you might have. Okay, with that, I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to pass it over to Matt. And he's going to have some slides, and then he's going to demo some things.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you for inviting us in today. As Tammy said, my name is Matt Lee. I'm the founder and CEO here at EnvisionTel, and through our partnership with eClass for Learning, we're just trying to get the word out on some of the things that we can do to kind of help extend what you're already doing with your LMS, which is probably most likely Moodle or Totara or one of those types of systems. Just to give you a little bit of background and kind of high-level overview of what we do as an organization, we're really in the business of helping our customers train their customers. So in partnership with organizations like eClass for Learning, we can provide some additional wraparound services that will enhance what you're already doing. So, by working with someone like Tammy, you can get up and running with a platform like Moodle or Totara. You can build your courses, build your content, get your posting and support needs taken care of. But we really handle some other things that tie into that. And this little graph here, or this chart or diagram, kind of gives a quick little overview of what we do. We have one product called LMS Checkout, which you may have actually come to the webinar we did a couple weeks ago with Tammy, where we highlighted that product. But it's basically a shopping cart solution that lets you create a storefront and a shopping experience where people can buy your courses, and we handle all the automated enrollments and subscription services and things like that as far as providing access to the courses. What we're here to talk about today is our product called Enlightened CRM, which then takes all that content. So when somebody buys a course, they get added to your LMS and they start participating. They're taking quizzes, they're watching SCORM packages, they're submitting assignments, they're doing any number of different things that represent the curriculum that they need to complete. And in a lot of cases, schools or organizations want to integrate that data with either their HRIS system, if it's a corporate type of deployment, or it's with a student information system if you're a college campus or university or something like that. But in our world, when you're dealing with external training, it might be customers, it might be partners, you might have different kinds of customers, you might be doing continuing education. There's any number of types of ways that you might categorize your students that sit outside of your typical kind of HR employee kind of relationship, or like a student enrollment at a university kind of relationship. So our customers don't typically have needs around integrating with student information systems or HRIS systems. They typically want to integrate with a platform like Salesforce, which kind of becomes their student information system, but it's more of a sales and marketing and support infrastructure. So that's what we're here to talk about today is Enlightened CRM and how you can take all your student data, enrollment records, activity completions and grades and all that kind of stuff, and have all that map over to Salesforce. And really, what does that mean for your workflows and such? Again, just a little more background information. My company, EnvisionTel, has been providing Salesforce.com solutions for over 10 years, from like 2007 to 2010. We primarily did that on a consulting basis, but in 2010, we formalized a relationship with Salesforce and became one of their ISV partners. That means we're certified by them. You can actually find our apps in their app exchange. We have 3 apps over there currently. That means we've been security vetted. We're an approved vendor by Salesforce, which kind of helps if you're going through an evaluation process. A lot of times there's a certain amount of security vetting or things like that you might have to go through in order to approve a vendor. By being in the ISV program, we're sort of pre-vetted, because our app has already gone through the security process within Salesforce to meet their requirements, which can help organizations kind of speed up the process of onboarding a new vendor or new solution, because it kind of meets some pre-approval sort of steps. So that's what that can kind of mean to you as a potential customer or prospect. Since we're Salesforce certified, it might kind of simplify your onboarding process. Now, why would you as an organization, or why would any organization want to integrate a system like Moodle or Totara or Canvas with Salesforce? Well, one is organizational visibility. If you've worked with an LMS platform, you might understand kind of the complexities of role management and giving different business users within your organization visibility into student progress can be a little challenging, and it's a very manual process to set those kinds of rules and permissions up. By integrating with Salesforce, we can map all your student performance data into your CRM, and then just following your native field security settings within Salesforce, you can grant access to people on a regional basis based on a hierarchy, or based on roles and such that you've defined in Salesforce. They can see the records that they're supposed to be able to see. So giving people, business users within your organization, instant access to real-time student data kind of takes that burden off your shoulders as maybe an LMS administrator, and puts it into the hands of the people that can apply it and use it on a day-to-day basis. It also creates like a permanent data repository. Most people don't want to just create course after course and keep all that data active in their LMS. They want to move student records into a more permanent resting place where it can be referenced years and years down the road. So we've built our integration in a way that you could map over enrollment records and status and completion records and such, that it has a permanent place in Salesforce. So as you're deleting people out of your LMS, or as you're deleting courses that are no longer being used, and you just want to kind of keep your LMS house clean, so to speak, you can maintain all those permanent records in a place where that data might be more valuable. Enhanced reporting. If you've ever tried to run detailed reports out of a system like Moodle or some of the other LMS systems out there, it can be a little challenging. If you wanted to export the gradebook from a single course, that's not really all that hard. You can get to that pretty easy. But a lot of our customers have hundreds, if not thousands, of courses with hundreds of thousands of users spread across those courses. So trying to get a full picture of what a particular student or organization or however you want to slice and dice that data, trying to get a site-wide view of what somebody's doing across the entire system can be a big challenge. And most of those types of reports have to be custom built or queried using something like Crystal Reports or something like that. There's not native reporting in a system like Moodle for doing that kind of thing. Automated workflows. A lot of our customers want to incorporate messaging or some sort of promotion or something or other based off of somebody's progress through a course, or like achieving different milestones. So creating different kinds of automated workflows becomes possible once you integrate your system with Salesforce, because we have bidirectional integration. You can configure workflows in Salesforce that will automatically do things like add a contact to an enrollment, or send a message about somebody not achieving the proper grade. Or if you're managing certifications, you can set automated workflows around reminder emails to let somebody know that their certification's coming due and things like that. And then finally, just being able to create a justifiable ROI. All the stuff you see here as far as reporting and data and stuff that you're mapping into a system like Salesforce suddenly puts the data in a way that you can slice and dice it and analyze it in a way to create a return on investment for your training activities, just because it's a lot more it's a lot easier to break it down and analyze it and look at costs versus benefits and things like that. Now, what we're going to be showing you today and what this integration means for our system, and I'm using Moodle here as an example because it's I think just based on the makeup of most of eClass for Learning's customers, it seems like Moodle is one of the more popular LMSs. But you could plug in Todra or Canvas or Blackboard or some of the other platforms that we work with here just as easily. But really what we're going to be showing you is how we facilitate this bidirectional integration between a system like Moodle and Salesforce. And we're going to be touching on courses and enrollments and hierarchies and all these different things that exist within your LMS, and how that information can flow back and forth between your CRM, all using this kind of turnkey app that we make available in the Salesforce App Exchange. Now, another thing we do that goes beyond just simple integration is we do enhance your experience from within Salesforce by basically dropping your LMS inside your Salesforce app so that your internal users or even your community users within Salesforce can gain access to courses and content without having to go physically log into your LMS. So as a part of our application, we drop in this My Learning tab inside of Salesforce, which gives your internal users single sign-on access to courses. So what you're seeing here is just a screenshot of a little dashboard view from Salesforce where the user can click launch. It does a single sign-on handoff into the LMS, and the user doesn't have to memorize a third-party URL. They don't have to memorize a total separate set of credentials. They just simply click launch, and the course is launched from there. Everything we do is compliant with the Salesforce mobile app. So if you're looking to push your content out to your users in a mobile way, everything is responsive. You can see over here on a mobile device, and these same listings here will stack and give users easy access to launch their courses on a mobile device as well. So this is the kind of in progress tab, and then this is a completed tab. So as courses get completed, they get moved into a different screen over in Salesforce where people can still access it. They can click the review link to still launch the course, assuming they still have access to it over in the LMS. And again, those same views are represented in the mobile app as well. So this is all being accessed through the standard Salesforce mobile app that you would be accessing any other standard objects in Salesforce or any custom objects you might have in there that are also mobile ready within the Salesforce environment. Now, before we launch into a live demo, just wanted to share a couple quotes and little case studies with some of the customers that we've worked with in the past. And most of them talk about just time savings and cost savings as far as improving their workflows. And these are just direct quotes we took from the App Exchange in Salesforce. So if you want to see these in more detail, you can look them up in the App Exchange. But I just wanted to kind of showcase a couple of these. Again, they just talk about time savings, which is really our huge benefit. Most of our customers, if they want the data from their LMS in their Salesforce app, they're typically doing that using a lot of spreadsheets and a lot of data scrubbing and a lot of data imports on a manual basis. And so depending upon how frequently you need data updated in your CRM, and how many students you're trying to manage and how many courses you're trying to manage, this might just be a couple hours worth of savings in a month. For some of our customers, it's literally a full-time job, because they're synchronizing data several times a day, because they need to get real-time activity updates that will trigger email sends and workflows in their CRM. That all has to happen on a regular basis. So they literally have full-time people that are just pushing data from one system to another. So with our app, you can eliminate those manual tasks and fully automate this process, and make it happen as frequently as you'd like. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and jump into a demo. Give me one second here to kind of change my screen. And like Tammy said, if you have any questions at any time, please feel free just to type those into the chat window or the QA window. Tammy's going to be monitoring that as we go, and we'll take questions as they come in, or we can save them until the end. Now, when you're looking at our app, we really manage data, or kind of manage the workflow, or manage three key elements of integration. The first is around user authentication. And there's really two ways that we can authenticate users. One, you can make your LMS open. If you're using Moodle, you can allow people to create their own accounts over in Moodle. And we have systems in place that will automatically verify them. So you're probably familiar with a method like the self-enrollment method or the self-register method, where they use email. So a user would go to your Moodle account, they would fill out a form, and then they get an email notification where they have to click a link to validate that they're a real person, basically. Do they really exist at the email address they put in? And then that's kind of a self-register process that they can manage on their own. Now, the problem with that for most of our customers is if they're looking to train partners and train their customers, they don't necessarily want just anybody to gain access. A lot of times they might want to keep competitors out, or spam bots, or people that might be looking just to log in, or maybe it's maybe training is a paid for activity. Maybe it's not paid for directly through an e-commerce solution, but maybe it's a benefit that they receive as part of being a customer. So therefore, a lot of our customers don't want to just let anybody in, because it's supposed to be a premium kind of benefit sort of thing. So we have a way of authenticating a user when they fill out that form, where we can automatically approve them if they're a recognized user in Salesforce. Or if they're not a recognized user, they would come into this tab called the LMS queues here. And this allows us to capture people who are trying to self-register on your system. So they would fill out that form, and if we don't already know who they are, they would come into this queue, which would also send out an email notification to let either a person or a group of people know that, hey, somebody's requesting access to your training. Do you want to approve or reject these people? So this is one of those first workflows that we manage. We can put them into a holding pattern, which is sitting in Moodle. It's sitting in that user account with that link that says confirm off to the right. So they're kind of sitting in this temporary status, waiting for somebody, an administrator or somebody, to say, okay, you're an approved user. Now, the benefit of doing this in Salesforce is, again, you can work it into a workflow and allow any number of business users to execute this approval without having to put all of the burden onto a primary LMS administrator. So a user can come in and click approve or reject. If we approve, they get converted into a contact record in Salesforce, and they're approved over in your LMS. If you hit reject, they get deleted out of both systems. Now, another thing that we can do with our integration is, rather than having somebody create their own accounts in the LMS, we can pull up a user, like for example, Bart Simpson here. Maybe I'm working in the support group or an account manager within the company, and Bart Simpson's contacted me. He's got questions about how to use our product, or maybe he has purchased a course through some other mechanism or filled out a form on your website, which added him to Salesforce. You've got some workflow and process that he's now is on my radar, and I know I need to add him to a course. Well, we've got this enrollment object that sits on the contact record, and from here, I can click Add New Enrollment, and this allows me to search for and find and add somebody to a course right from within Salesforce. Now, I'm not going to do that right now because I've already got a bunch of enrollments here. But if I were to do that, it would add them, it would make that course show up here inside my enrollment record, and it would add that user to the LMS and also add them to the enrollment. So if Bart, in this case, Bart already has a lot of other enrollments, so he already has an account over in Moodle. So in his case, he would just get added to the new enrollment. If it was a new contact record, we would create a new user account for them in Moodle, and they would get the normal email from Moodle saying, hey, an account's been created for you, click here to set your password, and then they would go and be able to access their course directly. So this allows, again, average business users within your organization to assign people to courses without that burden having to fall solely on the shoulders of your LMS administrator. So it allows you to kind of compartmentalize that responsibility with other users, again, without having to make it always be on the shoulders of the LMS admin. Now, this brings us to the second part of things that we integrate, apart from user authentication, it's all your enrollment records. So as you can see here, Bart's been added to a bunch of courses. I can see course names. I can see enrollment date. I can see whether the course was complete or not, when it was completed, how many days did it take to complete the course, what was the score, what percentage of the course is complete. Now, some of the stuff is being pulled directly from Moodle or your LMS. Things like enrollment date, that's just a date stamp that's being pulled directly from the database. Other things here like course duration and percent complete. These are actually calculations that our app is doing based on, in this case, like percent complete, we're doing a calculation based on the total number of activities that are a part of completion within the Moodle course. And then we're just dividing by, the number that are complete versus the number that are available to be completed. And we're creating a percent complete, which also feeds into some visual indicators that we have over here in our My Learning tab. Now, we also have a status field here. So for example, if I look at one of these enrollment records, you'll see here there's a status. In this case, it's set to passed. This means that at one time, Bart was an active enrollment in hiking Yosemite National Park, but he is no longer enrolled over on the LMS, but his records are still showing here in Salesforce. So this particular enrollment record is showing as passed. If he was actively enrolled, it would show as enrolled. And then we've got two other settings, suspended and pending. So you have the ability to control access for a particular user in a particular course using some of these settings here in Salesforce. So that allows you to run reports. Like if, for example, if I wanted to run a report on what Bart has completed, he currently wouldn't show up in a report over in Moodle for this particular course because he's no longer an active enrollment. However, I have the ability to still run those reports here in Salesforce because I have him shown as a past enrollment there. So I can use these data points as filters so that I can still see people who at one point or another took a course even though they're not currently an active enrollee in that course. So we can pull over all of these course enrollment records. If I click into the course ID here, I can also see activity participation. So I can see this was a page view, there was an assignment here, another page view, more assignments. So I can track all these activities. In fact, I can go to a full list, and this shows me all the activities that were a part of this course. And some of them generate grades, some of them don't. Some of them are part of completion and some of them are not, but we can track all these different module types and multiple quiz attempts and such, all here inside of Salesforce. Now, the really cool thing about that is that allows us to create some custom reports in Salesforce. If I jump over to my reports tab, I've got a custom report here that's been created that's courses with activities by account. And now I've created some summary reports that basically summarize data based on account names and then based on contact names. And then within this, I've got courses. And then within those courses, I've got activities. So I can see Gina McCarthy has done some stuff in the course C101. Then here's C201 with different activities. And then C301 with different activities. And I can scroll down and I've got a number of different users that are a part of different courses running all the way, down the page here. So again, we can create site-wide aggregated reports that are filtered based on things that are important to my organization. So if I want to see, a partner organization and all the people that are certified there, I can create that report. If I want to see all users across all courses, I can run that report. So once this data is in Salesforce, we basically can slice and dice it however the native reporting functions in Salesforce allow you to do that. I'm going to jump up here. So the same thing with users, we've also got bi-directional integration with courses. So if I click Go next to all courses, this shows me all the different courses that are sitting over in my LMS. I've got a total of 85 courses over there. So if I click into something like backyard camping, I can see my course title, the course description that's sitting over in Moodle, whether this is visible to students, my Moodle ID. I can see kind of the navigation structure. So camping in your backyard is sitting inside of a category called Outdoors Colorado. I can also see all my enrollments that are sitting inside this course. I can see any activity modules that are a part of this course. In this case, it was probably just a demo course, so I don't really have anything in there. But all this stuff flows over, and these are courses that were probably created in Moodle. So any course that you create in your LMS, all that stuff will synchronize over into Salesforce. But then if I want to create courses from the Salesforce side, I can also do that. I can click on my course tab, click on the new button, and I can build a new course, or I can clone an existing course. And this is a pretty common workflow for a lot of our customers. A lot of our customers, have some sort of they have some sort of process for vetting students. Somebody might have to fill out an application on their website, which puts them into Salesforce. Or maybe we work with a lot of customers that will run courses in different cities based on a certain curriculum, and maybe they want to pre-sell seats to that course because maybe a course isn't worth doing in a certain area unless they can sell a minimum number of courses first. So they might have some sort of placeholder sitting in Salesforce that represents kind of the pre-sale process for a course. Once the minimums have been met, then they want to kind of automate that course getting created and then the students getting added to that course automatically. So we've got this ability to clone courses over here in Salesforce, and I can clone based on filtering by a category, and then I can grab that backyard camping course we were just looking at. I can hit continue, and now I can set a couple settings here. I can change the name of the course. I can set my start date and end date. I can even assign instructors. So maybe I want Tony Romo here to be the official trainer of the course, and then I can hit create, and our app will actually go into Moodle, grab this course that we chose as our template, and we can do a backup and restore of that course to create a new instance of it, and then have any students that are sitting over here in the queue on the Salesforce side automatically flow into it as enrollments. Now, again, I'm going to cancel this. I don't need to create a new course here. Just want to kind of show what is possible here on the Salesforce side. So again, we've talked about user authentication. So users can create themselves in Moodle, and we can automatically approve them, or we can add users from Salesforce into courses that are sitting over in Moodle. We've also talked about course synchronization. So all your courses and activities and stuff can synchronize from Moodle. You can also create those courses here on the Salesforce side. And then finally, we've got our My Learning tab. And we showed some screenshots of this over in the PowerPoint presentation. But here's just a live view of this. This is more for your internal users. So if you've got, if you're doing a bunch of like sales onboarding, or if you want to push out product training to your salespeople, or even just your normal HR/compliance training that needs to get pushed out to all your Salesforce users, this is a simple way for people to find their assigned learning. They can click launch, and it will do a single sign-on connection into the course. For your internal users, you can also turn on a course catalog tab, where people can come and search for new courses that they want to enroll in. The system kind of keeps tabs on things that you're already enrolled in. And then so that you can facilitate enrollments directly here inside of Salesforce. And then you can also click on the completed tab, and you can see any existing courses that you've already completed. So this is more of an internal tool for for granting access to your internal users. But this can also be turned on within Salesforce communities. So if you're setting up like a partner portal or a customer portal using the Salesforce community technology, this tab can be enabled within those views, and you can allow your customers and partners to gain access to this too. So if you wanted to auto-enroll your partners into the courses they're supposed to take, you can allow them to gain access to those courses using the same community portal that they're using to log tickets, or to manage their cases, to download product information, or any other details you're making available to your partners through Salesforce. They can just go ahead and access their training right from that same portal. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and pause and see if we've got any questions. That's kind of the end of the demo. This was meant just to be kind of an overview. If you've got a specific use case you want to evaluate, we'd be happy to set up a private meeting and talk to you one-on-one about how you can make our app work for your particular workflows and so on. But I wanted to kind of pass it back to Tammy to see if we had any questions come in or anything like that. And if there are, we'll certainly address those. If not, we'll start to wind things down here. Tammy, do we have any
We
questions?
don't have any questions right now. However, a lot of people signed up that want to view the recording. And if you are one of those people and you didn't get to ask your question, feel free to email me back, and we were happy to do that. As Matt said, we'd love to talk to you more one-on-one about your use case. There is a free trial that we can set up if that makes sense too. And so thanks so much for your interest, and I will be in touch with the people that signed up in the next week. So thank you so much, Matt, and have a good rest of the day.
Great. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.